ecosystem for the study of the microorganism. And when they are using the word optimization, then we get to know that it is still, in the process of development, because we know that we are trying to study more microbiota, and it is not ultimate the ways we are having for culturing or for separation or for improvement of differential cultures. We cannot say that this is all kind of state of the art and there is no room of improvement, and still the ways which were already developed, they need optimization and standardization. And also there is more and more involvement of the technological input of different tools and database, the bioinformatics, into the culturomics, right? So we'll be looking into the paper. Do you have the copy of the paper? Because I had also uploaded it when I had uploaded the previous review article about the culturomics.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, can anyone tell me that when we put the word omics with a simple culturing thing, so what difference it creates in the culture dependent methods which we're already knowing, and saying those culture dependent methods as culturomics? What causes the difference over here?
Ma'am, omics basically means study of, and culturomics means study of culture dependent things. And
Yeah, it is study of culture dependent things, but I mean, earlier we were knowing is the culture dependent method. So why we need to put the omics with it? Like we were moving into the ecosystems, we were studying the cultures through microbiological techniques, and it could have stayed over there. So why we have put the word omics with it?
Because, ma'am, it also involved, it's getting involved the use of new technologies.
Yeah, actually, it is a high throughput culture dependent
Yes, ma'am.
approaches. Yeah. So the thing which has uplifted the culture dependent procedures at the level of the omics is the high throughput. Because it is not so generally, yes, still not in many cases at a level that you can put multiple sample at the same time, but there are many technologies involved with the databases and softwares inculcated, that we can use the high throughput culture dependent approaches, and dramatically, we are moving towards more culture studies at the same time, in less time and less labor intensive ways, although there is a lot input of money, because you are using a lot of chemicals, consumables, and so on so forth, other things. But the ways are much more smarter, that we can study many organisms and we can work on many organisms at the same time. So that's why the thing is called culturomics, and this is high throughput, a technology dependent procedure, optimizing and standardizing and coming at a level, and it's also inculcating the metagenomic studies into its pipeline. So the substantial advancement in the metagenomics is not staying apart from the culture dependent methods as it could be previously. It could be the meta genomic studies, it could be the phenotypic studies, it could be the serological studies. But when you are using the culturomics and it itself is high throughput, then the metagenomic approaches are integrated into the culturomics approach. आपको याद है ना जो पाइपलाइन culturomics की हमने उस रिव्यू में पढ़ी थी?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
हाँ. So it is not at a different line of action in comparison to metagenomic studies, but the studies are integrated into the culture dependent approaches, and then through the integration, the pipeline is created, and that is called the culturomic pipeline, right? So substantial advancement over there in culture dependent approaches, both are parallel and helping one another, and significantly we are improving our knowledge about the microorganism and the repertoire of microorganism present in an ecosystem. Like in this paper particularly, they are moving towards the discovery of the gut microbiota, and like we assume that if we are going only with the metagenomic approaches, like with the DNA dependent approaches, then it could be that we can come up with approximately 200 new species over there out of the taxa. And if we are improving with the standardized culturomic approaches, and in this the metagenomic is involved at the level of the 16 srDNA, that approximately we assume that we can come up with the 600 differential taxa at one point. सो लाइक अब ये हमें क्लियर है कि कल्चरोमिक्स में हमने किस चीज को इंक्रीज करना है, डिफरेंट कंडीशंस को, ठीक है, डिफरेंशियल टैक्सा को हमने अगर स्टडी करना है, सो वी आर इम्प्रूविंग एंड वेरियिंग द culturing conditions. It could be the variation in the culture media. It could be the variation in the temperature range, pH range. It could be the variation in the substrates, and it could be the variation in the physical procedure, which can help to uh, differentiate the different culturing conditions. Like हमने उसमें disk diffusion को थोड़ा सा understand किया था, right? So I just shared the paper with you, and we see that how they have standardized the procedure in it, and what they assume that what they have got through this paper. Is sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this paper particularly, although they call it standardized and a better procedure, but it might not be much elaborated as compared to the previous one, because it could be that at one time they are not applying just one sample parallel, they are applying multiple sample and then trying to isolate from the multiple samples, and then going for the isolation of the bacterial species, and doing the identification and characterization procedure as we are already knowing it. So ultimately they tell that they have applied the culturomic approaches, the differential culture approaches, on 8 fecal samples, and the culturing conditions they have grouped into 58 sets. And now the set thing is clear to you, and like differential conditions in a single set of experiments, so they have made 58 sets out of that. And what they could achieve, that they could isolate 497 of microbial isolates, and like they are ultimately telling that how they were differential and what they have attained in terms of the bacterial diversity. So they will be looking into the experimental procedures and getting to know the elaboration of it. But before going into it, we should briefly look into the review of literature, what was known for culturomics early as the state optimization and standardization. Obviously, the culturomic term was first used in literature in 2012, and since 2007 people were working on it with the approach of culturomics. So we know that the term was not new. Then we have to look for that how the optimization and standardization has occurred, particularly with respect to the human microbiome population studies. But it is not moving now. Something went wrong. I have to cross it and then turn it on again. Maybe it was on a disk and the disk is no more available. Plug it in. There's a problem with Adobe, so I have to close this Adobe thing and then open. Wait, I tried to pick the this file from the file section in the Teams because I was having it on external drive and that is not complying with Adobe. So Teams. Files. Or otherwise, what you can do that you can open up by your side. I tried one time. I don't know what is happening. Can. Yeah, okay. Is it sharing now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
So the purpose that we are going through the introduction chapter that we want to fix that what was earlier known about the human microbiota and how it has been improved to the application of this standardized culturomics approach. Okay, or ultimately it could be that there is not much improvement or much gain, but it is just the verification. So we do not know right now because we have not paid much attention to this first, but we are very much interested that we get to know. And again I re-emphasize that this was the extent of the technology which we have seen in the very first a kind of differential understanding of the sequencing versus culturomic. It is not like, yes, the 100 new species or 100 new taxa will be known through this and 200 will be known. This is just, you can say, approximate extent. It could be in some studies it go up and it could be in many studies it stays behind, right? So the exploration of human gut microbiota and its interaction with human health represents the major current challenge, as we know that with respect to any kind of improved society, there is much importance of the human health, and there is much deliberation or scientific work flow on the human health, and then comes the other problems or other areas of work. So dramatically, it is not same when we look into the native culture of the science, but like when we are looking to the published research, so much of the knowledge, advanced knowledge, is coming first on the human side, and then that is applied on the other side, right? So the high throughput sequencing thing that has enabled to look more and more into the microbial communities, and we were, getting the metadata not only of the cultured microorganisms but also of the uncultured microorganism, and then it started the experimentation with the improvement of the culturing, and they have named it with the very first paper, that 2012 paper which I have discussed with you. They have named it culturomics as rebirth of culture approaches. Okay, and this is only upscaling of the culture approaches. So this enabled drastically expanding the knowledge regarding the repertoire of microbiota, and first of all, as it was applied in human microbiota, and much it is applied yet today on the human microbiota, because we want to know about the rare taxa, or any kind of nasty bacteria or the beneficial bacteria, and also the interactions of bacteria over there. So any microorganism which is isolated once from the human gut is identified and then characterized to put it that whether it is going into the commensal list or it is going into the pathogenic list, because we are having both kind of pathogens over there, or microorganisms over there. Okay, and we see that just in the period of 3 years, like 2012 is the rebirth of culturomics, presentation of the culturomics approach, and then it has come the application of the culturomics approach, and the repertoire has increased just in case of the gut microbiota up to 28%, and with an estimated 66.2% participation of culturomics in the updating of this repertoire. Like many people, they are not using up till today the culturomics approach. Culturomics is that extended, um, extended procedure which can be applied on the culture dependent approach. Still, I mean, it could be people can use differential bacteria, but not the physical apparatuses which can improve the, like the disc diffusion chambers or others which have been developed so far. So, and the metagenomic, which is giving information about the dark matter, like for which we do not know if will be present over there or not, but that is that can be used as a reference category, because you can look into the genome and then you can look into what kind of features it is having, and then you can provide those kind of environments for the growth of the bacteria out of the sample. Like, it is not so that this is not of any help. It has really helped to predict the features over there, and then you can apply it in the culturomics. So the both are interdependent up till now. We can say one way one is helping the other side and the other side is helping to this side, right? So culturomics has challenged the dogma stating the most of the human microbiota is unculturable. You know, the central dogma states that anything which is having the DNA thing can be transcribed into the RNA, and RNA can be translated into the proteins. And where it is happening? Where it is happening? In the environment. The central dogma is happening in the environment.
In the cell, the microorganism.
Yeah, in the living
Them in
cells.
the
Right?
nucleus.
Yes, in the living cells, we say this is the central dogma of life, and life is whenever it is, having the possibility of reproducing itself, or for reproduction of itself. It is not so that in the environment you put any kind of DNA will be doubling, or DNA will be transcribing, and DNA would be, translating. It is only possible when you do it, in vitro in your laboratory. You are providing the environments feasible for that with the enzymes and everything, but ultimately, open environment में ऐसा नहीं होता कि वो central dogma का process शुरू हो जाए. So it is happening, this life central dogma is happening. It means the microorganisms are present and they are actually in the process of duplication and through the process of life. But metagenomic studies, they were showing more and more microorganism, and we were finding it that these remain unculturable. Means we are not having the ways to culture them. We cannot assume that they are having their nucleic acids over there and they are remaining forever over there, because it cannot be. For some period of time, yes, no matter how frequency is high, for some period of time it can stay over there, but ultimately it will be decaying. ठीक है, RNA जल्दी decay हो जाता है, DNA और proteins for extended period of time उसमें रह सकती हैं, but still it is not so कि उसकी frequency इतनी high थी तो वो हमेशा के लिए वहाँ रह जाएगा. इसलिए हम जो detect करते हैं वो सारे का सारा है सिर्फ nucleic acid, and it is having nothing to do with the life thing. It is pointing out that it is present because we are having the limitations in the culturing, and then with the improvement of the culturomics, we could prove it that yes, the thing was right, and that the dark matter which we are looking through the metagenomic is not only because the nucleic acids are present. It is because that we are not having the culture approaches for that, and that culture approaches, that is not very simple thing. Up till now, what we have assumed, it has come to know that setting up could be easy, but finding the way that how you improve it and how you go for differentiation in the setup of the experiment, that could be the tedious, and it requires a lot of input and looking into that what are the potentials in the environment and how you have to create the mimic of the environment, for instance, that you make them grow. So this multiplication of the culture dependent approaches, this has remained, over the time center of attention, but it has remained the tedious job to look into an improvement of the procedures which can be used for that, and to overcome these constraints, not only of the long jobs, that labor intensive and the long jobs, people have also started to work into the tools and also on of the procedures which can be the high throughput. उसकी एक example मैंने आपको इस तरह के chambers की दिया, like you are performing the plate assays, and then the multiple plates can be put into a single chamber, and the chamber is not only incubating the plate, but it also taking the readings from the plates. It could be a big chamber and you are putting in trays 300 400 plates, and then it is also having the procedures available which can take the readings of the plate, and this is how it is upscaling at the level of the high throughput. So it is earlier, obviously it was so that you could study very small number of colonies, differential colonies in your laboratory, because it cannot be in a single laboratory. You are putting 60 people at a time, and every person is dealing with 6 cultures. More or less 6 to 10 cultures can be handled rightly by a single person अगर वो अपने 1 week experiments को plan करता है. And when you will be coming a microbiology laboratory, then you will be getting to know there comes other hindrances. ऐसा नहीं होता कि आपके पास 50 वहाँ पे शेकर लगे हुए हैं और जितना भी सारा apparatus है, glassware है, वो सारा आप यूज कर रहे हैं, आपको उसको वॉश करना है, साइकिल बनाना है. So there are a lot of attributed jobs which are involved. Same is the procedure over there जब आप इसको high tech labs में भी करते हैं. ठीक है. So high throughput ways की development ने इस काम को ज़्यादा आसान कर दिया, but still it remains tedious to look into that how you are going to develop the differential culture approaches. Again, it is okay. And ultimately, we are improving the diversity of the taxa which can be studied. So previously, number of culture conditions जो थी वो कुछ दूसरी studies को उन्होंने refer किया, where they have initially they have made 212 differential culture condition. Can we assume कि जितनी हम culture conditions बढ़ाते जाएंगे, हर culture condition के बाद हमारे पास नए organism और आते जाएंगे? मतलब अगर आपने 100 combinations बनाए हैं तो हर combination में 5-7 नए आते जाएंगे, या एक नया आता जाएगा, नया माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म जिसको हम स्टडी कर पाएंगे, ऐसा?
मैम अगर सेम एनवायरनमेंट से लिए हैं तो मे बी ऐसा ना भी हो, बिकॉज उनका उस एनवायरनमेंट की कंडीशंस के मुताबिक जस्ट उस ऑप्टिमल कंडीशंस के ऊपर वो ग्रो कर रहा हो लैब में.
हाँ, नहीं ऑप्टिमल पे तो कर रहा होता है, बट व्हेन यू आर मिमिकिंग, व्हेन यू आर डेवलपिंग योर conditions in the laboratory, it is not so that you are going very far from the environmental conditions. That's why we are causing it quite kind of challenging, because you are trying to mimic the environment and not going very far from the environment, because you know that you have taken it from a very particular type of environment, and it could be its potential to grow beyond the environmental conditions, but not of everything. ठीक है. वो जब आप सिंगल कल्चर को स्टडी करते हैं तो आप बियॉन्ड द एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशंस भी जाते हैं टू लुक इनटू कि ये सिंगल कल्चर कहाँ तक जा सकता है. लेकिन यहाँ पे आप उस रेपर्टायर की बात करें which is present over there in the environment. So if you are going very far from the environment, you are not getting close to the thing that you will be getting everything which was there in the environment, because it could be the many things over there would not be growing far from the environment. It is so actually you can expand your conditions assuming that whatever combination you are developing is getting you close to the study of increased taxa. But it could be the few conditions which you have developed are more, responding, are giving you more results as compared to the other conditions. Like you have developed 100 conditions, differential conditions, and there are only few conditions in which you could get maximum results, and the other conditions they had given you no differential results. So this is also the conclusion of the study, that you have created combinations, but out of the combination, the promising conditions are this, which has responded to this kind of study. Is it clear? It is not so कि हम जितने combination बनाते हैं सारे combination से हमें result मिलते हैं. It could be उसमें से कुछ combination होते हैं जो hit करते हैं और उसमें से हमें results मिल जाते हैं. बाकी सारे combinations जो हैं वो सिर्फ आपकी study का part रहते हैं, that you have tried it but you have not got out of it. So it could be the limitation in your development, but actually I have cleared you with the technical and biological replicate thing, which is very, very important. And still in this study, you have, seen in the abstract as well. मेरे ख्याल 8 उन्होंने samples लिए थे. So what it is, जो 8 samples
Yes,
उन्होंने
ma'am.
लिए थे,
Eight
these are the biological replicates. ठीक है? 8 biological replicates को उन्होंने लेके study किया है. And then there would be the technical replicate के हर एक को condition जो उन्होंने बनाई थी, हर sample को उस condition पे कितनी दफा किया था. So sometimes in manuscripts they are giving all kind of details, but actually it remains back and in the lab notebook or with the project director or project investigator that what actually they have done in the expansion. Paper के अंदर जो आता है वो आपका refined result आ रहा होता है. ठीक है? And actually we are getting through the previous studies as a rationale of culturomics studies that it cannot be that you can confine to few set of experiment. It is so that you will be expanding your set of experiments that every set with the different conditions, but you should also be knowing that many can stay on a side where they are not giving you the results which you are looking for, and it could be some out of those which are very fruitful. It can be that all are giving you results for which you are looking for, but the rationale is that you are expanding your conditions, but the actual thing is that a few conditions out of that could be responding. Like here they say that they have developed रेफरेंस नंबर पे आप जाके देख सकते हैं उन स्टडीज को जिसको इन्होंने रेफर किया हुआ है. बहुत पुरानी स्टडीज नहीं है, प्रीवियस 10 इयर्स का ही डेटा है इसके अंदर ज्यादातर जो कल्चरोमिक्स में आपको मिलेगा. मेटा के अंदर जो आएगा वो पुराना भी आएगा. So only 18 conditions were responding over here, and various bacteria are currently identified as biomarkers in disorders, or they have targeted culture enabled to provide biological material for in vitro experiments, and ultimately ये move नहीं करता जब मैं इसको करती हूँ. This is a unified kind of phylogenetic tree on the basis of the 16S rDNA. And here what they have gained, they have not gained much, they have not expanded much in terms of the culturing condition, but they have created the depth in their culturing condition. That's why they are calling it standardized and optimized procedure. बात समझ आई है मेरी? जो standardized और optimized का word उन्होंने क्यों use किया है? एक होता है width create करना और एक होता है depth create करना. प्रीवियस स्टडी जिसको उन्होंने रेफर किया, उस स्टडी से उन्होंने अपनी स्टडी को कंपेयर करके स्टैंडर्डाइज एंड ऑप्टिमाइज्ड इसलिए कहा है कि उस स्टडी में उन्होंने विड्थ क्रिएट की थी that they have used 212 differential conditions, right? And what they have tried to do probably that they have picked up 58 culture conditions and they have tried to create depth in every kind of culture condition in their study. That's why they are calling it a standardized and optimized procedure. ये depth और width का concept clear हो गया that how the study is important. The study has made its presence
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
scientific reports. Previous
क्या मतलब है? Like how किस तरह से depth create की?
देखिए डेप्थ और विड्थ को मैं थोड़ा सा आपके साथ इस तरह शेयर करती हूँ कि लाइक right now the concepts are changing, but previously हम इस एक साल से पहले के अगर एरा में देख लेते हैं थोड़ा सा, तो हमारे लिए जो depth of knowledge था, it was through the book. When you are picking up the book and you are going through the literature on the book, actually it is giving you more of intention to think deeply on it, and that is called as the in-depth mode of study. And use of the internet, anything you are not understanding, immediately you are clicking or you are putting it on the search engines and you are getting more information and you are creating width over there in less period of time. But when you are on a book and through a library, your presence in the library, then you are going to be in the depth on the topic. ठीक है? अल्टीमेटली यू गेन मोर नॉलेज एनीवे, जिसमें भी आपकी एब्जॉर्प्शन ज्यादा हो। लेकिन जो आपका कॉन्सेप्ट था वो ये था कि थ्रू बुक जब आप जाते हैं तो आप इन डेप्थ नॉलेज की तरफ जाते हैं, और इसमें जब आप जाते हैं वर्चुअल नॉलेज की तरफ तो आप in width expand करते हैं. And if we see the tremendous amount of data which is building up, then we should confess that we also need width of knowledge in comparison to depth of knowledge right now. And अभी जो आपके latest measures हैं that show that आप इंटरनेट के ऊपर ज्यादा क्विकली, इंटरनेट मीन कि आप वर्चुअल मीन्स में ज्यादा क्विकली गेन करें. सो हियर अगर आपने डिफरेंशियल कंडीशंस डेवलप की हैं, you are trying to look deeply into the results. It could be that you are applying multiple statistics tool to verify your data out of the experiments. It could be that you are doing your experiments more time in the technical repeats, and that is also creating depth. Okay. और width क्या थी कि आप डिफरेंशियल एक्सपेरिमेंट लगाते जाएं लेकिन आप रिपीट किसी एक्सपेरिमेंट को नहीं कर रहे, आप किसी एक टाइप ऑफ एनालिसिस टूल्स के साथ ही, मैथमेटिकल और स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल तो जब आप डेटा कलेक्शन करते हैं तो उसके लिए अप्लाई करने पड़ते हैं ना, ठीक है, तो उसके लिए फिर आप उसकी तरफ ज्यादा तवज्जो नहीं देते. इट कुड बी दैट यू आर अप्लाइंग वेरियस मेथड्स टू कंपाइल योर डेटा एंड देन लुकिंग इनटू द रिजल्ट्स कि डिफरेंट मेथड्स के थ्रू जब आप कंपाइल करते हैं तो उसकी डेटा के अंदर कोई इंप्रूवमेंट आई है या नहीं आई है, राइट. सो इट इज दैट दे हैव गॉन with the term that it is the standardized and optimized. तो आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि किसी भी बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसीजर के लिए आप optimized का वर्ड, like it could be that you have done it like 5 times, 5 technical replicates में आपने किया है और उसके बाद आपने results निकाले और आपके जो standard deviation low रहती है तो आपके optimized results हैं. But standardization का word, like we use the term technology and used to give the example that it is very very hard to put biological systems at the level of technology because the level of reproduction is very different in when we are dealing with the biological materials. But the standardization makes it closer towards the physics experiments. Physics के experiments में होता है ना standardization, although 100% is not achievable, लेकिन standardization का word आप उस वक्त लगा सकते हैं जब आप कहते हैं, जैसे आप स्टैंडर्ड कर्व्स बनाते हैं तो आप क्या करते हैं कि लेट्स से आपने डाइल्यूशंस बनाई एंड 50 टाइम्स आप डाइल्यूशन को अगर रन करते हैं और वो आपको सेम ओडीज दे रही हैं तो आपके पास एक स्टैंडर्ड कर्व इवॉल्व हो जाती है. ऑल्दो जब आप स्टैंडर्ड कर्व बनाते हैं तो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन लो करने के लिए 5 वैल्यूज का मीन निकाल के उससे बना रहे होते हैं. सो दैट इज कॉलिंग द स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन. ऐसा नहीं है कि स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन का वर्ड आप जनरली 1 टाइम या 3 टाइम्स करने के बाद उसको कर लेते हैं. इट कुड बी दैट यू हैव एनालाइज्ड योर डेटा थ्रू several mathematical and statistical models, and then you are saying that this is a confirmed result and you do it this way or that way, it is giving you the same explanation, the same analysis ultimately. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
So they have used 58 culture conditions in this culturomic approach. The depth is not much there, although this is also a depth. Generally, we will be looking into that when we go for our set of experiments. I mean, to developing 58 differential culturomic condition is not very easy thing, but still achievable, not very, far from achievement even for a small team of researchers. But creating the depth into that, going into the technical replicates, going into the biological replicates, and applying the different tools, that is the real thing over here. And out of that, the 40 were new and 18 culture conditions were adopted from the literature. So, and what they could achieve out of that, they have isolated 494 bacterial species, of which 19 were new taxa. ये उन्होंने अपनी ही किसी स्टडी को रेफर किया है, ठीक है. एंड 494 बैक्टीरियल स्पीशीज में कितनी नई है? 19. तो वो जो 100 का था ना, जो मैं आपको आपकी भी शो करा रही थी कि जी डेफिनेटिव इससे 100 नई मिल जाएंगी और उससे 200 नई मिल जाएंगी, ऐसी बात नहीं है. इट कुड बी दैट अल्टीमेटली यू कम अप ओनली फ्यू, इट कुड बी जस्ट वन, but that one could be that much worthy. Remember, जो मैंने आपको एक स्टोरी रीड करने के लिए दी थी थर्मस एक्वाटिकस की, the one was worthy enough to give you the contribution of 100 research paper and the lifetime of research, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
obviously more is
Yes,
important.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
important because rationale is over there, but getting into the depth of one is way more important probably if the one is worthy enough. So the purpose of the work was to analyze the performance of the 58 conditions, analyze the performance. This was the ultimate point because, quickly we could go through the conditions and it could be the same, procedure, and it could be the same steps which we have looked into the novel species paper and which we have looked into the culturomics reviewed as a workflow of the culturomics. But this is very important that we understand the rationale of the study, that it was to analyze the performance of the 58 conditions, to look in depth into the 58 condition result, and the work has been optimized for the process of the culturomic based strategy. So means they are saying that if you are using on any different kind of biological sample for investigation, you can pick up these conditions which they have optimized and you can apply, and then they assume that, I mean, a kind of same range of new species is possible over there. Like it could be they have done this study in British population, and if you apply this study in the Pakistani population, isn't it possible that you can come up with approximately 19 different taxa out of that as well, because we are not having 100% similar gut microbiota, and even in different ecological zones of this country, or even different cultural conditions of this country, or even different hygienic conditions. So this really gets differential, isn't it so?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay, that's great. So the technique is definitely having the potential to go for it. जी, कुछ कहना चाह रहा था कोई? Okay. Now we look into the methodology and then we will come back to the results. अच्छा, methodology में हम जा रहे हैं culturing conditions को देखने के लिए, ठीक है? और मेथोडोलॉजी तक थोड़ा सा मैं आपके साथ रिव्यू करूंगी और फिर मेथोडोलॉजी को और आगे थोड़े रिजल्ट्स को आप देखेंगे ओवर द वीकेंड, और फिर नेक्स्ट वेडनेसडे को हम इसे कंप्लीट करेंगे, ठीक है? हमारे पास सिंस मॉर्निंग इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ऑफ है तो मेरे पास बैकअप इतना नहीं है इंटरनेट डिवाइस के ऊपर, जिसकी वजह से हो सकता है कि मेरा जल्दी इसमें ख़त्म हो जाए। तो दूसरे ये टीम्स के ऊपर लैपटॉप बैटरी भी क्विक की जाती है। सो what they have included, as we have understood earlier, they have included 8 biological replicates over there, and apparently like they were not looking for any kind of condition variation in the persons, so they have not included the unhealthy subjects over here, and they have including several donors included as a part of fecal microbiota transplantation FMT. So I am not sure what this fecal microbiota transplantation thing is, but we have to look into these papers, and maybe next time I can also look into this and then we can talk on it, that what it is demonstrating in this particular study. So the subjects have been living in Marcella for at least 1 year, but many come from different countries, like we have talked about it, the different cultural conditions, the different environmental conditions, the different human races, ethnic conditions, the difference in the dietary conditions that can create the way. But generally I can give you an example, like if you go from here to Europe and you start living over there, like it will be taking some time to you to adjust over there, and then your microbiota will be adjusting to the environments over there. And when you come back to Pakistan, and you have seen it, quite normally people tend to come back to their native land and they do not get adjust to the foods which they were eating early, or to the conditions in which they were living, and very quickly they get stomach upset. ऐसा होता देखा है ना हमने?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it because of the नाजुक मिजाजी या कोई रीजन साइंटिफिक भी है उसके? लोग कहते हैं
Microbiota
actually this is the thing, this is the thing that they have adopted to the cultural conditions over there, and the microbiota is no more the same. Like जब यहाँ पे आके लोग boiled water या bottled water पीना चाहते हैं तो लोग मजाक उड़ाते हैं कि पहले भी तो पीते थे, अभी ऐसा क्या हो गया? But difference is scientifically कि उनकी gut जो है gut repertoire जो है वो actually deviate कर गया है. So it could be the things or the practices which they were doing earlier. It will not be very much normal to them to come and adopt the same very quickly. It could be for some time they live again over here and slowly it gets changed. ये नहीं एक दिन में 2 दिन में ऐसा नहीं होता. It takes a little bit of time. So study को standardize करने के लिए what they have that they are kind of group of people, they are living in the same country and adopted to the conditions, and now they have taken the sample to study the culturomics into it, right? So the fresh samples, they were taken and they have been used for culturing quickly after taking 5 minutes after emission to prevent the loss of certain anaerobic bacteria, because as it comes out into the environment, it gets into the aerobic condition. It could be the many anaerobes which were earlier over there, they have lost viability, and you are now more having the chances to get them alive. And this is a study of the central dogma thing, that the thing is actually happening in the live form, living form, right? And it's not confined to the aerobic bacteria. It is extending to the fastidious or anaerobes as well in their culturing conditions, as we have assumed from this kind of statement. The donors have a signed or written consent that they have been project have been this. ये तो उनकी अपनी detail है, right? We have nothing to do with it. And this was also kind of standardization in their study, that the patient have not taken antibiotics, because we know that antibiotics can also at large change the gut microbiota. Has anyone experienced ever the change in gut microbiota because of antibiotics? बाकी एंटीबायोटिक्स चेंज कर देती हैं, कुछ होता है?
यस मैम, मेरे साथ हुआ था एक दफा, ली थी, उसके बाद 2-1 हफ्ते पेट खराब ही रहा था.
हाँ, अच्छा, ये चलें, गुड, आपने इसको एक्सपीरियंस किया था, बट इसकी प्रिकॉशंस में लिखा होता है, और हम ज्यादातर, क्योंकि हम वही बात है कि हमारी अडेप्टेबिलिटी बहुत हाई है बिकॉज ऑफ द कंडीशंस इन विच वी आर ग्रोन अप. सो जनरली इट सो हैपेंस लाइक आपकी जो एंटीबायोटिक्स होती हैं उसके जो साइड इफेक्ट्स लिखे होते हैं आपको यहाँ पे कम फील होते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप किसी इम्प्रूव्ड एनवायरनमेंट में है, लाइक एज आई हैव गिवन यू द एग्जांपल ऑफ यूरोप, एंड इफ यू आर देयर एंड यू सेइंग यू आर टेकिंग द एंटीबायोटिक फॉर योर नेजल कंजेशन, एंड इट इज सेइंग दैट इट कैन disrupt your gut microbiota, then you can experience as long as a year or for the lifetime the effects of that antibiotic on your gut microbiota. It can kill some very important gut microbiota, and it could be that you are not recovering them in your lifetime, and you remain with this upset stomachs. And I have in my family, when we have lived abroad for my studies and so on, so we have experienced it, that the antibiotic taken for one thing, it has so affected the gut microbiota. The ultimate option was only to take up a pill, enzymatic pill, but the enzymatic pill was prepared with the pig stomach enzymes, and for sake of our own belief, so we are forbidden to take. So we have decided that okay, we do not take this remedy pill afterwards, we remain with it, and we try the gut microbiota to fix itself if it can in the period of time extended. It could be the 1 year or 2 year, and it was about extended to 2 years, 1 to 2 years, that it has taken that time to regain its strength and come to the normal condition. और उसमें ये था कि the person who has taken the first antibiotic, it has affected the gut microbiota, and it was so that a person was not able to eat the fresh vegetables and fresh fruits or any kind of uncooked food, because whenever he was taking that kind of food, he was getting again the stomach upset problem, the commensal microorganisms were affected. Okay? So it can take a very long period of time if there are few copies over there which can regain their strength and come to the frequency level at which they were earlier and which were providing the protection to you. This is how important it is, and to keep these conditions in these kind of studies when we are calling it the standardized kind of studies. Okay, and now the most important part, the culturomics protocols, like what we have understood, the 58 conditions, right? So they have high throughput culture technique consisting in the multiplication of the culture condition along with the quick bacterial identification. I mean, so far I have not given you the detail of the MALDI-TOF, but keep in mind whenever you are getting a kind of, you know, glimpse of this MALDI-TOF thing, that what kind of advantages it is offering to you, because, you know, it could be that I show you the technique, it could be I tell you some of its advantages, but you also keep in mind that you have also witnessed its real-time advantages over time when you are looking into the literature, right? So you see, this is a quick bacterial identification which they were doing through the MALDI-TOF. And in total 58 conditions were tested based on the 15 culture media, like 15 culture media में अब composition हमें तो 2 या 3 या 4 के नाम आते हैं, बट इसमें कंपोजिशन डिफरेंट के ऊपर नंबर वाइज भी कल्चर कलेक्शंस में भी आप देखते हैं या कंपनीज की तरफ से भी उसमें होता है तो अवेलेबल होते हैं. एंड इट कुड बी you know the composition of the components, and it could be in the liquid form or in the solid form, and then the condition variation is with respect to the atmosphere, aerobic है या anaerobic है. Aerobic है तो कितने परसेंट ऑक्सीजन पे है, anaerobic है तो कितने परसेंट कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड में है, तो यहाँ पे वेरिएशन उसकी आ जाती है. Then application of different temperatures 28 to 30 degrees C, you see there is not much variation. 28 और 37 दो टेम्परेचर सिर्फ अप्लाई किए हैं उन्होंने. याद है जब हम सिंगल कल्चर को पढ़ रहे थे तो वहां पे ऑप्टिमाइजेशन एंड स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन नहीं थे, सो वी कुड सी यू नो फार फ्रॉम इट्स टेम्परेचर फ्रॉम वेयर इट वाज आइसोलेटेड, वी कुड सी ये कितनी एक्सटेंट को बर्दाश्त करता है. बट कल्चरोमिक्स की अप्रोच जब आप अप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो आप बहुत सारी रेंज अप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं टेम्परेचर में. एक्सपेक्टेडली यू नो यू कंसिडर इकोलाई आपका 28 वाला है वो भी ग्रो कर 37 वाला है वो भी ग्रो कर जाता है, और कुछ आपके ऐसे हैं पैथोजेनिक माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म व्हिच आर रिक्वायरिंग 28 और वो भी ग्रो कर जाते हैं. सो दे हैव अप्लाइड जस्ट 2 टेम्परेचर, वन क्लोज टू द रूम टेम्परेचर एंड अदर क्लोज टू द बॉडी टेम्परेचर ऑन द कल्चर. इज इट क्लियर? जो हमने पहले पीछे हमने बात भी की थी कि रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर्स हम उसमें अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे बिकॉज वी आर नॉट लुकिंग इनटू दैट हाउ फार इट कैन गो, वी आर गोइंग very close to the natural environment, mimic करना है हमें उसे. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you know pre-treatment with alcohol, it could be a kind of you know surface sterilization thing and looking into that what is inside of the sample, sort of जैसे हम किसी भी दूसरे सॉलिड सैंपल को करते हैं कि हम उसे प्री ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं सरफेस कंटेमिनेंट्स को रिमूव करने के लिए, एंड यू आर ट्राइंग कि जो आपके बिल्कुल सरफेस के ऊपर थे वो किल हो जाएं, जो थोड़े से इन डेप्थ हैं वो आपके रिमेन करें, या एंडो हैं उनको करें. इसमें ऐसा एंडो वाली बात तो नहीं है लेकिन सरफेस कंटेमिनेंट्स को किल करने की बात है. देन दे वर एडिंग द ह्यूमन फ्लूइड और शीप ब्लड यू नो, एंड सप्लीमेंट्री टेबल आप उसका खोल के जरूर देखें कि उसमें उन्होंने जो कल्चरिंग कंडीशन की वेरिएशन दी हुई है. ठीक है? The 18 best conditions standard described by Culturomics were selected in this study. वो previous study में described हैं, हमें आप खोल के please देख लीजिएगा कि कौन सी 18 best conditions थी जो उसमें previously described थी, which has you know given good result. जो आखिरी लाइन में उन्होंने कहा था उनकी previous study में introduction की आखिरी लाइन में था ना, तो आप उसको खोल के देख लें एक दफा अपनी insight के लिए. And you know स्लो ग्रोअर, फास्ट ग्रोअर और डिफरेंट मीडिया के ऊपर डिफरेंट बैक्टीरिया जो थी या डिफरेंट स्पीशीज में से जो थे वो उनके पास आइसोलेट उसके होना शुरू हो जाते हैं. एंड इन ऑर्डर टू सेलेक्टिवली आइसोलेट स्पोर फॉर्मिंग बैक्टीरिया, अल्कोहल कंडीशंस वर परफॉर्म इन स्पोर फॉर्मिंग बैक्टीरिया का आपको पता है कि देयर आर फ्यू बैक्टीरिया व्हिच कैन बी यू नो स्पोर फॉर्मिंग, दे आर कमिंग इनटू द ग्रुप एंड दैट्स हाउ दे आर gaining access to the bacteria which are spore forming. And you know the samples were pre-treated with alcohol to eliminate the possible vegetative forms. वो जो आपकी मैंने कहा था कि surface contaminants से उसको remove कर देते हैं और आप फिर target की तरफ उसमें चले जाते हैं, but not to the all samples, to the few samples they are doing so because they are targeting the spore forming. And it's the standard protocol which they have applied. So there is not much you know difficulty in the setting of the experiment, but you know the deliberation should be that you should be clear about what you are working for. Is it clear to you that I have taken you deep into this study, that it could be that जैसे आपने नॉवल स्पीशीज वाला पेपर उठाया था तो उसमें आप क्या करते हैं कि आप रेंज को लगाते चले जाते हैं बगैर सोचे समझे कि आपने कल्चरल कंडीशंस को डिफरेंशिएट करना है, आपने कल्चरिंग कंडीशन को डिफरेंशिएट करना है, बट विद रेफरेंस टू द टारगेट टू विच यू आर स्टडिंग. the thing should be clear to you. It is not so कि मेरे पास जितनी range available है वो लगा दूंगा तो बस ये हो जाएगा. No, you have to be very selective to choose your differential culturing conditions. आप 218 या 300 या 500 differential conditions पे जा सकते हैं, but those conditions could be far from your original. So that is not contributing toward culturomics. Culturomics is that staying close to the original environment and then trying to find out the bacterial species which could be present into the environment, and then you are discovering those first time, right? They have given some more detail into the composition of the media and so on and so forth, so we don't go into it. And then bacterial identification by Malditoff and 16S. You also know this procedure from the वर्कफ्लो ऑफ द कल्चरोमिक्स जो प्रीवियस पेपर में आप पढ़ चुके हैं. ठीक है, इसमें कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं है. आइसोलेशन प्योरिफिकेशन के बाद क्या करते हैं, आप उसको आइडेंटिफिकेशन की पाइपलाइन में डाल देते हैं. आइडेंटिफिकेशन की पाइपलाइन में 16S की पाइपलाइन इज वेरी वेल नोन टू यू, एंड यू हैव आल्सो कम टू नो दैट वी आर आल्सो हैविंग ए रैपिड पाइपलाइन अवेलेबल alternatively, which is known as the Malditoff pipeline, right? And Malditoff as a separate technique which we'll be learning later, but this is contributing a lot towards the identification of the bacteria, and you can use simultaneously with 16S RNA sequences that you are growing one time, and the culture you are using for Maldi and the same culture you are processing for 16S sequencing from the same plate, right? And then from the 16S procedure, you know, this is the construction of the phylogenetic tree, and you are also knowing it कि जिनको इन्होंने आइसोलेट और प्योरीफाई कर लिया था उसको उन्होंने जाके टेक्सोनोमिक आइडेंटिफिकेशन के लिए 16S के थ्रू किस तरह से फाइलोजेनेटिक रिकंस्ट्रक्शन उसकी की थी. और माल्डीटॉफ के लिए उसका अपना डेटाबेस यूज होता है. इज इट डिफिकल्ट इन दिस पेपर फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड टू परफॉर्म? हेलो, पेपर मुश्किल
नो मैम.
नहीं है ना? यू नो, ऐसे लगता है कि साइंटिफिक रिपोर्ट्स में पब्लिश करना बड़ा मुश्किल काम है. ऐसे ही है ना नेचर में पब्लिश करना. पेपर से करने के बाद तो लगता है कि यार ये तो हम बड़ी आराम से कर सकते थे, पता नहीं क्यों नहीं किया अब तक. व्हाट कुड बी द यू नो कटिंग एज पार्ट ओवर हियर? क्या मुश्किल हो सकता है जिसकी वजह से ये मुश्किल नहीं है, या इसका बेंचमार्क क्या हो सकता है जिसकी वजह से हम कह सकते हैं कि इट हैज अचीव्ड टू द पोजीशन? इट इज एक्चुअली द एनालिसिस ऑफ द डेटा. जो कंपाइलेशन आप अपनी रिजल्ट्स की करते हैं वो तो सिंपल प्रोसीजर्स पे जाके कर रहे हैं जो कि आपके स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड प्रोसीजर्स थे. ऐसे ही है ना? और फिर उसके बाद जो आप एनालिसिस ऑफ डेटा करते हैं दैट शुड बी द एक्सटेंडेड एनालिसिस ऑफ डेटा. इफ यू रिमेन विद द बेसिक एनालिसिस ऑफ डेटा तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि यू आर गेटिंग यू नो सिंगल रिजल्ट्स फॉर एवरी सिंगल. When you have to compile the results and come up to the complicated analysis, and then come to the point where you can present your study as a kind of standardized and optimized study, initially starting with the selection of experiments and then with the analysis of your results. ठीक है, बाकी सारी इसकी पाइपलाइन कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं था जो अभी तक आप सिस्टमैटिक्स को पढ़ने के बाद आपको लगता हो कि आप नहीं कर सकते. आगे भी आप कर सकते हैं, but the thing is that you should be motivated that you are going to learn it, that how much they have done, and it is, you know, gaining access to new tools and applying it in your analysis, and then coming up to the complex analysis which could be, you know, quite reliable and quite presentable. Otherwise, you know, optimization and setting up of the experiment is not very much difficult for you people, because you are, you know, very much aware with the basic microbiology, and you are very much aware with the lab techniques, and you know, even the metagenomic approaches along with the culturomic approaches to the level of the phylogenetic tree construction. As I have said, अभी तक तो मैंने एक आपको hands on दिया था, but I will be asking you to be more on it. तो ultimately आप में से मेरा नहीं ख्याल कि कोई भी ऐसा होगा जो कहेगा कि अच्छा जी ये जो 16S था इसका वो हम नहीं कर सकते. एंड यू सी जो आप कल्चरोमिक्स की पाइपलाइन यूज करते हैं इसमें NGS नहीं आता इन द मेटाजेनोमिक अप्रोचेस. वी कन्फाइन टू द 16S थिंग एंड वी से इट इज इनफ. वंस वी आर डन विद द डिफरेंशियल देन वी कैन मूव ऑन टू इट. तो आप उसकी नॉवल स्पीशीज डिस्क्रिप्शन के रेफरेंस से जा रहे हैं तो उसको NGS की आपको वहां जरूरत पड़ती है. ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am.
So I am having जस्ट few percentage of the battery. अभी मैं इसको यहाँ पे लीव करूंगी. आप लोग के पास टाइम है, you can go through the paper, the part which we have done. अभी जितना हमने अभी किया है दोबारा से एक दफा उसको पढ़ लें. उसके बाद सेपरेटली आप इसको ओवर द वीकेंड अगले को गो थ्रू रिजल्ट्स वाला पार्ट है, ताकि हम अगले क्लास में इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन कर सकें. ठीक है?
ओके मैम.
यस मैम.
34 are present today. जी, कोई कुछ कहना चाह रहा था? हेलो. चलो ठीक है जी, गो थ्रू द पेपर. आई विल बी लीविंग बिकॉज मेरा लैपटॉप की बैटरी डेड हो रही है. ठीक है? और नेक्स्ट क्लास में जो है हम इस पेपर को खत्म करेंगे. एंड टिल दिस पेपर जो है वो हमारा पार्ट होगा जो आपके मिड टर्म में आएगा. ठीक है?
मैम इस पे जितना भी आपने पढ़ाया है सारे कंसेप्चुअल बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस होंगे ना, तो इज इट पॉसिबल कि आप लाइक थोड़े से लाइक बता दें कि किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस होंगे एज
नहीं बता दूं तो मैं ये करती हूँ कि मैं अगली दफा फिर एक क्विज ले लेती हूँ तुम लोगों का.
नो मैम मैं ये नहीं कह रही. मैम अभी नहीं ले प्लीज, पढ़े हैं.
अच्छा चलो ये मेरा ऑफ हो जाएगा सिस्टम, इसको पढ़ के तो आप फिर अगले में बात करेंगे. अभी दूर है पेपर, और पेपर तुम लोग के लिए कोई मुश्किल नहीं है, मुझे पता है. ठीक है?
ओके.
ओके ओके.